This week on Campus Update, Surf City Marathon, Sports Update, APA's Almost Maine, the Fusion Dance Concert, Nerd Word, Media and the Measles, and Skylar Davis in a leather jacket.
Salutations, Oilers. I'm Skylar Davis, and this is Campus Update. Here's David to start us off with some interesting news on an upcoming Surf City event.
Huntington Beach is holding its yearly event, the Surf City USA Marathon. It will be featuring events such as the Finish Line Festival. It will include interactive games and sporting-themed events for all ages, food trucks, live entertainment, and VIP celebrity meet and greets. The festival will be open Saturday, January 31st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, February 1st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Thank you, David. You're always a treat. Now in sports news, HB Girls Water Polo won the first annual Lady Bahamas Varsity Tournament, defeating the top-ranked Division II Sure HS 125. Way to go, Oilers. Now in APA news.
Almost Maine is about a town in Maine called Almost, and it's about the people of that town and all of their individual stories, and it's really different from anything else that I've really been in and anything that anybody else has seen, because it doesn't really have a set storyline. There's 8 different scenes with completely different characters, and it just tells the story of those 2 individual characters.
The costumes are a big factor into this production, especially showing the fact that it is located in Maine and it's a snowy weather, so a lot of the kids are wearing these big coats or winter boots, and so you really see the difference of the climate compared to Huntington Beach weather where it's 73 all day, and it's really fun to see what I can come up with and what the fellow students can come up with, and the collaboration work is truly where I find the most pleasure into it.
My perspective of this show is a little bit more unique, being on both the directing and acting aspects of the show. As an actor, I understand what the directors are trying to give us, but as a director, I'm also understanding what the actors are needed to have. The scenes taking place are actually all different scenes composed together. It's an interesting show nonetheless because there's a segment that almost everyone can relate to some degree. Almost Maine runs from February 3rd through February 5th. That's a Tuesday through Thursday. We have $5 tickets for all Huntington Beach High School District students. You guys should come see the show because it'll leave you laughing and crying at the same time.
Be sure to check out APA Dance Department's production of Fusion this Friday at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. The show will feature 6 different groups performing different dancing styles. Come support your Oilers. And now, here's a special treat from Nerd Word with not 1, not 2, but 3 video games.
The beginning of 2015 is a good time to look back at your mistakes and wonder how to make them better. So stop playing those first-person shooters and have a look at the top 3 games picked out by Nerdword staff, consisting of only 2 people that deserve your love. Number 3, Bastion, an action RPG made by Supergiant Games in which you have to create a safe haven after the world is destroyed. A bastion, if you will. I thought it was pretty funny. Number 2, This War of Mine, a 2D survival game created by 11-bit studios that delves into the horrors of war from the perspective of innocent civilians. Number 1, Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. This is a puzzle game developed by Starbreeze Studios in which you control both 2 brothers on a quest to find a cure for their sickly father. Buy them on Steam, have a good time.
Thanks, Kendra. Several news trucks were in front of the school last week, and our senior journalists thought we'd show them how it's done. So I see that you're interviewing many students at our school. What's the purpose of this?
Let me tell you how it works. I was on another story this morning. Was quickly sent over here. So now I am trying to find some students to talk with and put a story together real fast.
But we have seen a lot of students milling around today.
So best case scenario, you could be saving some lives.
You know, I try to have some good in what I do.
In true typical high school fashion, all they want to do is gossip.
And it's spreading information, which is what we're letting people know what's happening here.
And all they want to do is gossip.
And if we can help someone out in the process, then great.
So being a fellow journalist, do you have any tips for helping us journalism enthusiasts getting up there in the field?
Go to a small market, learn to make your mistakes, learn how it all goes, get used to, writing on deadlines, and then maybe get a side job because the business really doesn't pay anything, especially in the small market.
Reporting live in Huntington Beach, Courtney Friel, KTLA 5 News.
All right. Well, there you have it. I'm Skylar Davis, Campus Update.
Keep it Friel, that's what I do.
Why is the national news station reporting a story that had been already reported about a week ago on Wednesday?
Sometimes it takes just a little while for the folks at the national networks to get on board with a story. We have to let a story grow to national significance. A handful of folks that came down with measles was a story, and it was interesting, but as the epidemic grew, it caught our attention at the national level.
Does the national news have any interest in the story specifically?
What do you mean an interest in the story?
Like, is there any agenda behind reporting this story? Is there a bigger discussion going on, etc.?
Absolutely not. It's all things that we do in our newsroom and in most newsrooms is not driven by any sort of agenda. It's just the facts and only the facts. In this instance, you see how a disease that is preventable is making a comeback right now because folks didn't vaccinate.
What's the average death toll for measles in the U.S., specifically in California?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's 0 for right now. It only affects people in UK and Southern Africa, so it's actually not that big of a deal here with Western medicine. But just like I was saying, that's why we don't believe it's worthy of reporting. But
all right, well, you'll learn that it is. You're still in school.
So you were just interviewed by a few people. How do you feel about that?
It was a little bit scary. I was actually interviewed by one person, and boy, let me tell you, do I feel exploited. Kind of think it's irresponsible on the school's part.
That's an interesting way to feel.
Get vaccinated. Seriously, get vaccinated. Okay. Symptoms of measles include coughing and sneezing, but the telltale sign is a rash that spreads across the body. So be sure to get yourself vaccinated, and please, stay safe.
That was beautiful, even despite Sebastian's physical appearance. Well, that's it for this episode, Oilers. I'm Skylar Davis signing off, and remember, satire is dead.